So greet your neighbor, left or right, behind, forward. Greet everyone, say hello, good afternoon. Shake their hands, be kind. All right. So without further ado, let's stand up and sing our first song, Sailing with Our Father.
Okay. This microphone.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, so let's start. Oh, here we go. There we go. It's unplugged. How's everyone doing? Good. So I might ask a few of you at the back to just come forward to fill the empty space in the middle. You don't have to oblige, but it would be really nice. I'm sure we'll fill up soon. Okay. If the trip you're traveling is long, she's where you need to go. When the sun rises in the morning, we'll set sail on the wall.
Let's remain standing to recite Family Pledge 3 and 4. Number 3. Our family,
near and unshun book, pledges to spread the four great grounds of heart, the three great kingships, and the ground of our family, by century on Sugar.
4.
Our family, near and unshun book, pledges to build in us a family, in constant and life, which is the heavenly parents' ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness, by century on Sugar.
Please sit down and join me in the opening of prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, good afternoon. Father, we want to this COP service in November, and after a month of studying and working and going about our busy schedules, I pray we can make this time now to really give glory to you and really celebrate you and reconnect to you before we start our new week ahead of us, the first week of December. Father, I pray that you can talk through Keishin today, and it's going to be about passion, and I pray that we can really always make an effort to invest in what we're passionate about and really be able to share that with other people as well. So Father, I pray you could be with us today, and please guide us, please protect us as we make this time for you and for the week ahead as well. So I'd like to offer up this prayer in my name, David, and narrator Fortune, plus central couple, RG. All right, good afternoon. Welcome everyone. I hope you had a wonderful month of November. It's got freezing cold, which is not the greatest, but anyway, soon up, coming up to Christmas, so lots to look forward to in a few weeks' time. Announcements. There will be no Sunday service, COP service in December, and there will be no husbands and wives meeting either for the next following month. As you've seen outside with all the posters, on the 20th of December, there's a Christmas dinner. So there'll be performances, food, music, and tasty food, of course. And the entry fee would usually be £15, right? It's £15. If you go to the next two slides, Jonathan, then there's a poster there. Yeah, but today you could go to Yankee and buy one of these, and it costs £10. So if you want £5 off your Christmas dinner, then go to Yankee after the service. And on the 17th of January, so sometime to come, there's going to be What is Your Passion talk again, and the topic is education. So for all of you people who are interested and passionate about education, who are studying in university or want to teach in the future, that's going to be the topic for the 17th of January. And last but not least, Yasuka wants to give a small announcement on Youth UPF.
Thank you, David. Who is hosting this, by the way? Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a good week and a month. So as David has already introduced, our Youth UPF is having the next event on the 9th of December, Tuesday. And then the topic of the event is discussing the present and future of religious education at schools. So it's kind of related to what you're going to talk about in the seminar here. So if you are interested in religion or education, you are more than welcome to join us. And if you're not interested in these two subjects, but if you concern what your children, nephew, or niece will learn about religion at their schools in the future, then please join us, because I think these topics are really relevant to us, since we are religious groups, religious people. Personally, I had this experience in my college. I studied religious studies at KCL, and then I sometimes, or actually quite often, learn about our church in my lesson. And then we are represented as a cultic group in my lesson. So I felt very uncomfortable with the word cult because it has obvious negative connotation. So I think we should do something about it. I mean, I want to improve our image when my children are learning about us at schools. So and I'm inviting professors, MPs to make change and improve the situation. So please join us on the 9th of December. I'm gonna give you this leaflet at the end of the service, as well as I put some of the flyers on the desk outside of this room just now. And also, I am recruiting the volunteer speaker for this event, because I'm struggling to find the speaker representing our church in the event. So if you are passionate about education and religion in our church, please come and speak to me. I really need the representative of this church. Okay, thank you.
All right. As I said in the prayer, Keishin's going to be giving the sermon today on passion, I believe she's passionate about arts, right? Yeah, but yeah. So that's going to be the theme of the service today. And before Keishin gives her sermon, let's stand up and sing 2 more songs. And yeah, let's fill the room with some spirit, energy, and enthusiasm.
So we're just going to sing a couple more songs. I'm excited to hear the message from Keishin today. It's always an emotional experience, and I think that's good to really bring us all together, to hopefully see where she's coming from. And so we've just got 2 more songs, Filled with Glory and Hosanna. So please really put your hearts into it. These are songs of worship, so that God can be present here and present in our lives, and that He can speak to us today through each other.
Like
All right, that was awesome. Let's give a big round of applause to Keishin.
Sorry, 1 second.
During the last song, my throat was closing up like I'm allergic to public speaking. I feel like physically it's so stressful, but anyway, I'll do my best. Let me get my thingy up here. So I spoke at the What's Your Passion talk last month, and I've tried to make it more sermon-y, so sorry if you've heard it before already, but I'll do my best. My name's Keishin, for people who don't know me. I'm married to Yasu. He's been here for 2 years, and he's got the permanent visa now, which is really good. I feel like we're starting a new chapter, and have to get in there now. Anyway, new stage. So here are my quotes. Actually, I was reading the new Chonsongyong. Me and Yasu purchased the new Chonsongyong recently, and there's some really good quotes. It's amazing. It's a really beautiful book, and so this quote made me laugh. So I thought I would. It's kind of connected. So, when you see the bushy eyebrows on your face, you may be displeased with them and wonder, why do I have these bushy things here? Without them, wouldn't you have a cleaner, better-looking face? So why are they there? It is truly good to have them. The hair on the eyebrows grows in one direction. Why is that so? It is to send raindrops that land on the forehead off in one direction. Since the eyebrows grow in one direction and are curved slightly sideways, when water flows, it is bound to flow to the side and down. What if we had no eyebrows? Sweat and raindrops would go into our eyes and irritate them. Wouldn't that be difficult? If you look carefully at the eyes, you'll see that the Creator considered that the eyebrows alone were not enough, and so equipped the eyes with eyelids to protect them. Tears are designed to flow to the side through a carefully molded channel. Safety measures are in place. I do not know who designed all of this, but it must have taken tens of thousands of years to do the research. So it made me laugh because Father's kind of funny in the way he writes or the way he speaks. And he even talks, after that, he talks about how the nose starts, small and it gets wider so that everything kind of flows to the side and off the mouth. So everything's all designed in a way to be perfect, to work perfectly. My next quote. If there is a poet who can feel the heart of the universe in the sight of one trembling leaf and can give expression to that feeling, he'll be a universal poet. Nowadays, we ignore and are far too indifferent to such things. We did not realize the fact that all around us, and unbeknown to us, all the begoning things of creation are existing together with the love of God. Have you ever wished you could enter into a mystical state or into the realm of God's grace and look at a flower from that perspective? Have you ever regarded a flower with the same sincere heart you would express toward an ancestor you long to meet? Have you ever looked at the mountains and rivers and felt such incredible inspiration from nature that you spontaneously burst forth praising God? If you have never had this kind of experience, I can only conclude that you're not qualified to be a Lord of creation. So I quite liked your father's harsh words, and it's interesting because he often says things like that, like, can you look at a blade of grass and weep and know the joy of the universe, that kind of thing. And I think most of the time, I think we can probably say most of us probably haven't, and he's quite harsh in saying, you're not qualified to be the Lord of creation. So the end of this talk is about what's your passion. It's not exactly art. I studied fashion design, and I hate saying I study fashion design because it sounds so superficial. Like when I say it, I always think, oh God, I sound like a girl that's into handbags and material things and stuff. But yeah, this is what I'm going to talk about. So it's not particularly fashion. So when I know when I say, if I didn't study fashion myself, I'd probably think it was something like this. It's a picture from Ugly Betty and from Devil Wears Prada. It's things like which look very kind of intense and scary or superficial, or things like Paris Hilton or big bags and big sunglasses, stuff like that. That's what I imagine fashion would probably seem like. But yeah, it's really not my passion, I wouldn't say. And I think what I'm discovering is, you're at university and we're learning things from university, and I think I have to decide, what is actually the truth and what's not the truth, and what is really connected to the principle and what's not, and I have to really think about those things clearly. You have to decide for ourselves. We kind of have to be the ones to kind of merge those two worlds together and also decide what is it really that we're doing. I actually kind of hate fashion in a way. It sounds strange. But fashion is kind of following a trend or what's popular or whatever. I'm not interested in that really at all. I don't really care about what's popular or what's cool or whatever, what's the most expensive bag or the coolest bag. And fashion is quite often stupid. This is Alexandra of Denmark. So she was like, in the 1800s, she was kind of the Princess Diana, like everybody was copying what she wore and stuff. So she had a scar on her neck and she wore a collar, so everyone was wearing a collar. And then she got this disease and ended up getting a limp. So she had a limp, and then all the women started kind of walking around with a limp. So my dad sent me this article about it, and I was like, oh my God, it's so weird. And even shoemakers started making shoes with like one heel higher than the other, so that women would walk around with a limp. Oh, sorry, he's telling me to talk slowly. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. Yeah. So another point is that fashion is often quite throwaway and it's quite disposable and it's materialistic and things like that. So those are the things that I'm not really connected to, I don't feel interested in, and I would say I'm not really connected to that world of fashion, really. So I think I wanted to change it to what's my heavenly passion, or like what's the principle about what I study, or what is it? Yeah, so it was a chance also to discover that in my studies and in my dissertation. So I did my dissertation on the importance of beauty. And beauty is also an interesting word because it's kind of thrown around a lot. You know, people, say, I want to be beautiful, I want to be a model, or, there's a lot of emphasis, wrong emphasis on being beautiful or striving for beauty, or people say there's too much. But actually, beauty is an important thing as well. And actually, my name means, the meaning of my name is beautiful heart. So it's something which I wondered about a lot, like what does it mean to have a beautiful heart? What is really beauty? So, and it's something your father talks about a lot. Actually, this, did anyone see this short movie? It's amazing. Anna posted it up on her Facebook, and it's about these Korean potters making pottery. And it's an incredible video, and it's just, I wonder also why, a pot which was once used for something, people put it on a mantelpiece and just look at it as something, just to be admired or beautiful. Sometimes it overtakes function. So anyway, your father also talks about beauty a lot. He says art is the emotional activity of creating or appreciating beauty. So if you're creating beauty or you're appreciating beauty, it's also an act of art or experiencing art. So I'm quickly going to go through the theme of my dissertation, just because to go over it in a nutshell. And I think the point is that function is important. Once I bought an umbrella, and these £3 umbrellas from the local shop, and I opened it and it kind of flipped inside out just straight away because it was windy. And I remember being so angry. I remember thinking like, I don't know, it's the thing that grinds me up the most is things which don't work, like jugs that don't work, or umbrellas that don't work. It's like, why does it exist? You just want my money. It's not because it works. It's not because it's functional. So function is important. It's really important. But at the same time, that's not beautiful. That's quite depressing. That's from like a science fiction, dystopian fiction thing where everyone's wearing the same thing and these ugly overalls. And this is something beautiful, isn't it? When you see culture and you see beautiful things in, the fabrics and tradition and, techniques which have been passed down from generation to generation, developed, and, there's so much beauty in that. So, but this diagram, I think you all know it from the principle. It hasn't always been enough for me. Like I didn't really understand it. I mean, is beauty, even if an object is really, really beautiful, does it mean that you won't recognize that beauty? Or if you love something enough, does anything become beautiful, even if it's something ugly or if it's something horrible? Can anything be beautiful? These are two pictures of things which I find difficult to call beautiful. One is a spider. I mean, I know intellectually, I know it should be beautiful. God created it, so it should be something beautiful. With my family, we watched this spider documentary, and it was quite scary, but, all the scientists were like, yeah, this is beautiful. And this photograph is from a website called beautifulbugs.com. So, there are people in the world who love bugs, they think it's beautiful. And this picture is from a friend she's living in Czech, and she always sends us like pictures of ugly fashion. And this is in a department store. This is recent. It's in a department store. I don't, maybe you don't know whether you think it's beautiful or not, but I find it really ugly. If I struggle, sorry if you find it nice, but yeah. This is a drawing from a kid. To any onlooker, it's a bunch of scribbles. People don't really, it's just 4 colors. It says hour 1000. What does that mean anyway? But to a parent, they'll probably frame it on a wall. They put it on the fridge, and it's it's something which they love and they think it's beautiful. So it's kind of interesting to really think what it really means. For Van Gogh, for example, in his lifetime, he died. Nobody even knew who he was. He cut off his ear. He died a miserable death. But now his paintings go for like millions, like £1 million. And they said 100 million pounds is what I wrote in my notes. Yeah, so what does that really mean? Like, why is it suddenly appreciated as beautiful? I don't know. The Greeks, they thought that beauty was in the object, so they were like uncovering the secrets of, the nature and all the mathematical formulas of what actually is beautiful. So they created, a system. How can you make something actually beautiful? And then this is a Japanese, it's actually a Korean tea bowl, but Japanese tea masters, it's like they have this bowl and it's prized as one of the most beautiful of its kind. It's like in box upon box upon box. It has no author and no creator. So you kind of wonder, it's a very different type of, it's not symmetrical, it's not, you wouldn't think anything of it, it's just a humble bowl, but some people find it also very beautiful and whatever. But it's no doubt that beauty touches the heart and the emotion. Like have you ever been to an orchestra or where it's kind of really captured your heart? And my auntie, for example, she became a Christian because she went to an orchestra to see Handel's Messiah. It has like the Bible verse, and she became a Christian because she heard this beautiful piece of music, and then every year now she goes kind of as a pilgrimage to see this piece of classical music, and so it touched her, it moved her, it made her become a Christian, it made her do something, beauty has a way of reaching your emotion. And anyway, I really like unification thought too, so I have some quotes here, because it also gives everything very clearly. Actually, when I was doing my dissertation, I'll go back, when I was doing my dissertation, it was difficult to come to any definite answers. Nobody has the answers really. I couldn't really talk so much about unification thought, or I didn't think to maybe, but basically, everybody kind of has their opinions and their ideas, and all you can do is like discuss about what everybody is thinking, and you can't really say, oh, this is the actual answer, because it's all opinion based. But when we have unification thought, the principle, it's all very clear. It's like, it's always kind of set there, so I can always refer to that. So this quote is, how is the beauty determined? So how is the beauty of a flower determined? Its original beauty is determined when God's purpose in creating the flower and man's spontaneous desire to pursue the flower's beauty are in accord with each other. When man's God-centered desire to find its beauty is fulfilled by the emotional stimulation he receives from the flower, this brings him perfect joy, and at that moment, original beauty is determined. So beauty exists when it's experienced by the subject. So this is back to the standard diagram. So basically that quote was saying that the purpose of the object is important. So the reason it was created, does it embody the elements of harmony? And also the subject also needs to seek the beauty in the object. It needs to feel the desire to seek its beauty and understand what it's there for, how it was created. And when those things are in harmony, then the subject can experience beauty and it exists. The object also needs elements of beauty, and those elements of beauty need to be centered on the purpose of creation. So there are elements of beauty too. Also, will, there's the emotional intellect and will. There's, I think it's something like, did I put it in my notes? But the intellect is, science and stuff, that's what stimulates the intellect. But what stimulates the emotion is art. So that's the activity which stimulates the heart, the emotion part of your heart, So that's why it's also important. There's also elements to beauty which have to be also in line with the purpose of creation, in harmony with the purpose of creation. So lines, shapes, sounds, colours, and they all have to be in harmony. So I was, that is the first one. Is it the first iPod? I'm not sure. One of the early iPods. One of the first ones I remember. Anyway, but anyway, that's in the Museum of Modern Art in America. So it's kind of curious, isn't it? It's like people really love the iPod. I mean, not everybody does. There's some haters for the Apple, but I personally really like their design aesthetic. They have a special the plug for the cable is magnetic, the charger cable is magnetic, and they just think about little things. There's a little clip on the thing to stop the headphones from getting tangled. They're always thinking about how to make it slimmer, how to make it better, how can I use one button to make it more easy for somebody to use. And when Steve Jobs introduced this iPod, we had these big technological shows or whatever. They have these big dramatic American things, I don't know, shows of the technology reveals. Anyway, he just showed the back of it and said, I'm in love with it. I love this. I love the iPod. And so it's definitely something to do with, he really wanted something for the people to use, something he loved and he really felt proud of. He was a visionary, and it's kind of interesting. And this is kind of a joke, this next slide, but look at this. It's cool, no? It actually fits perfectly. I felt like I was in the Da Vinci Code. I was like, maybe they both have a point. it's kind of, I don't know, maybe they both have a point, or maybe they've found something together, like maybe Father has a point in creating the symbol in that way, or maybe they both unlocked some secret, I don't know, whatever. So is necessity the mother of invention? Have you heard, who's heard that quote, necessity is the mother of invention? So when you need something, you create it. So I need to eat, I need to make a knife and fork. But actually I read an article which was saying that necessity isn't the mother of invention, but it's more to do with aesthetically motivated curiosity. So when you have the time and the space to search for something, beautiful or playfully beautiful, you can create something new. So wheels were first found on toys. So the first wheels were found on toys. Some of the first pigments and alloys were found in these cave paintings, these earliest cave paintings. And copper was used on jewelry before it was used as knives or weapons. So it's a lot of inventions are to do with searching for beautiful things or creating things. For example, a church as well is undoubtedly beautiful. They're hundreds of years old, but wherever you go to see a church, it's beautiful. It's incredible. And why was it built apart from the love of God? People wanted the tallest building. They wanted it to be the most beautiful. They put loads of sweat, time, energy to creating all these details for no reason apart from just because they loved God and they wanted to show that to him. So, churches spearheaded a lot of new ways of architecture too. They built the arch and stuff to make it tall. So it is really worth thinking about. Yeah. It's even science. Einstein didn't look at beauty. I just wanted to put a scientist up there on the chalkboard. But scientists are also into beauty. So there's also studies that have shown that beauty increases your trait hope, which is important for academic success, social development, optimism, and general happiness. Beautiful things also enable an increased ability to problem solve. So when things are beautiful, it's easy to problem solve. So if you're using something ugly, or if you're using something beautiful, it's easier to use the beautiful thing because your brain accepts what it's looking at, and it can also, enjoys the problem easier. So it's easier to problem solve. So I think, what's my heavenly passion? It's hard to say in one word. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But I think an overall thing would be beautiful design. I think that's what I'm interested in most, is things which really are beautiful and things which are designed. I like created objects, so anything, the creation which is created by God, or something which somebody loved and created and put lots of time into, and they created that. That's what I love. So this is actually by one of my favorite fashion designers. It's a top. So it turns into this. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if all your clothes could fold into something so beautiful? You could keep it on your shelf, but it looks amazing when it's folded up. I know a lot of guys like tailoring. And I remember Robert was saying he wanted a bespoke tailor. His dream was to have a bespoke tailored suit. But it's if you study tailoring, it's really an incredible art. I don't think people know what the shape of a sleeve is or the shape of a trouser leg is. It's really complicated. And, a bespoke jacket, this is some of the pieces of a bespoke jacket, but they're made from 170 different parts. So the top collar and the bottom collar are different by 3 millimeters. That's that detailed and it's that refined, the skill of tailoring has been that refined. And it's incredible. It teaches me about, tradition, how you have to, you take something which people have already done before. When you make clothes, actually, you have to keep making them over and over again, and then you make the final one. You have to make it over, and it doesn't look right. You have to change it and make it again. But there's no time to do hundreds of years of changing to get the best product. But with tailoring, and other forms of clothes or whatever techniques, they've been refined and refined and refined over generations. You take it and you improve it, and that's how it works. So, it teaches me the value of inheriting something from before, and culture to embodies something beautiful. This is, the Korean hanbok. There's the traditional Korean hanboks, but taken by a photographer for Vogue. But it says something about. It's really beautiful. It really says something about the culture of Korea. I think, the clothes are really free. Whereas I compare it to Japan because Japan is very kind of. It's beautiful, but it's also very tight and restrictive, whereas Korean clothes are quite free and you can run and whatever. It's kind of a different sort of atmosphere. So I really love the hanbok, personally. So these are my 5 quick final lessons. And these are things which I've, things I've learned over the course of my studies, which I thought I'd just bring together at the end. One point is to utilize all your unique God-given abilities. I think it's difficult to know what we're supposed to do in the future? Or what did God intend us to do? Or I always think that, God has some plan for me, or he can see something that I'm supposed to do, but I'm not in touch with it. I'm not in touch with that, and I'm not in touch with my unique abilities. So sometimes I do think like I'd much prefer to run off to an island somewhere or a farm, be a farmer, and just have an easy life as a farmer. But I'd be wasting everything I'm good at. I'm good at maths enough to be good at pattern cutting. I like beauty enough to be interested in creative things. I'm utilizing everything I'm good at, which is why I really like fashion design. So I just think it's important also to be really in touch with the things you're good at. Each person has a unique set of abilities which they only have, which make them good at something and which make them unique, which is important to utilize everything that we have and everything that was God given, So we also have to be desperate for heaven's guidance. We have to really pray and be really in touch with God's heart and where is he leading me to. So every day you have to, it's not easy also to have these deep prayers where you really cry and you feel like you're close to God, but it's important to have that kind of closeness, to be in touch with his will. You know what I mean? So my next point is be an example and don't compromise. I know a lot of you, so I'm so grateful, a lot of you voted for this competition, which I did earlier. But it was that whole time was a really good lesson for me. It was really a hard time, actually. Like, it wasn't the first prize; it was the second prize. It was like there was the first prize given to somebody else. This was like a list of runners-up who had to, fight for the second prize. So for them, it's good publicity. So I have to get as many votes as possible. But everyone was double-clicking and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's so great. Everyone's really caring for me and supporting me. That was great. And I didn't really care so much about the method in which we were trying to win. Of course, the competition was flawed. Everyone was cheating in this competition. Seriously, everybody was cheating. It's natural because it's easy to double click, and everyone wants their friend to win. But one of the guys, there was a competition between the three of us, the three at the top, and one of the guys got so angry and aggressive, and he was attacking the other two, me and this other guy, for cheating, like really aggressive. And like during that time, like I realized how I wasn't clear. Like me and Yasu also, I'm so ashamed, we went to the Apple shop and we clicked voting on every like device. I'm so sorry. But at the time I didn't think it was any, at the time I didn't think, that's like 20 votes, whatever. It's not like I'm sitting there for ages double clicking, but I was kind of like, and so I just felt so ashamed of myself, and I felt like evil, and I felt like I shouldn't be there. I was like gave up already at that moment when he was attacking us. I was like, no, I can't do it anymore. But actually we have to have also, we have to be an example. We have to not compromise, because as soon as we do, we know the truth. As soon as you do something which isn't according to the principle, someone will attack you, someone will accuse you, because you are accusable. So also we need to have, at the same time, we also need to have a steadfastness of purpose. It's also really important to be clear on what we're doing. I'm sure your father also, when he was, he was attacked, he was put in prison, he must have been made to feel evil all the time, even though so he has to know what he's doing. He has to be clear on exactly why he's doing it, what he's doing, and that he has to know what he's doing a good thing, because otherwise, how can you continue in your mission? How can you continue what you're doing? So as well as being an example and always doing things the right way, we also have to have a steadfastness of purpose. So this is also your father's quote. Anyone who follows the path of God must pursue his goal with his whole heart and total dedication, and it requires a steadfastness of purpose. Otherwise, there's no way to keep going. You can't continue. You have to be clear from the start, and you have to be clear in your heart, and you have to have a strong core and foundation. So that's my fourth point. And my fifth point is also to be a creator. I think it's what I like about creative people, other creative people, is that they envision the way things should be. So they have an ideal of the way something should be, and they just find their way to get there. So you make trials and errors, you keep going, you find your way. I think, in the church we have this big dream of what the world should be like, and we feel so hopeless. It's like, how do you get there? Like, how is it possible? Like, when the world is such a mess, how can you get there? But at the same time, we have to be a bit creative. We have to see the end goal, and we have to kind of work our way there. Me and Yasu actually found a mushroom growing through the cement, like just in the middle of the road. Like there's like the cement had popped off, and there was this little mushroom underneath. I just thought, what a creative or brave mushroom, just kind of growing through the ground wherever it wants. You know what I mean? He just found his way through. So yeah, I think we have to also be, and God is a creator. He found a way, and he's always trying to find a way. So we also have to be a designer, we have to kind of find our way to move forward. And that's the only way we can progress. So that feels shorter than I thought it would be, but that's the end of my sermon. So if you can join me in prayer. Heavenly parents, thank you so much for this wonderful day, and that we gathered here as brothers and sisters at the end of this month to really come together and offer this month to you. We're so grateful for your guidance always, and we're so sorry also that we're not always so straight, or we're not always so connected to you. So I want to pray so deeply that we can always keep sharpening the blade, that we can keep refining ourselves to be better and to be more disciplined, and also to be creative, that we can move forward, and be hopeful too, that we can move forward to create something that you would wish or that you've been hoping for. So I want to thank you so much for everybody's hard work, and I want to pray that we can really start this new month fresh and feel united with each other, and feel that we're on the same page, So I want to thank you so much for everything, and that we could be here. So I want to report this on behalf of my brothers and sisters. And in my name, Keishin Hoshko, member of Blessing Central Family. Aju.
So if you take a few moments now to reflect on the message and pray, and then we will have our offering song. You can come to the front, or and make your tithings and donations. So please rise and sing.
We
Good afternoon, Heavenly Parents. We want to thank you so much that Keishin can really share her experiences and some guidance and the love from you that we can try to use it in our life. And I pray we can offer our hearts and our companionships and really have an amazing month. And I want to pray and report on behalf of the brothers and sisters here, Felix, son of Paul and Bernie Dracup, Central Blessed Family, RG. Whoops, there we go.
All right, please be seated. Let's give a big round of applause to Keishin for a wonderful sermon. I love the conclusion. 5 very applicable, very simple lessons at the end. Just great. Now we'd like to welcome any new guests or people who have been here for the first time. Can you please stand up, introduce yourself? Is anyone? Yeah. No, just say your name, where you're from.
So my name is Keishin. I'm from France. I've been here already for 4 weeks, I think. And yeah, basically I'm doing the internship. So yeah, nice to meet you.
And Sasha? You're here for the first time too?
No.
No? Long time now. Okay.
Yeah, first month anyway.
First time to club service.
Yeah. Anyway, my name is Sasha. I'm from Macedonia. Nice to meet you all. Glad to be here. Enjoy.
Okay. Hope you have an awesome week ahead of you. And, oh, yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. Really thanks to Keishin. Also, I think I've already sent email and announced on Facebook, but unfortunately the winter retreat has cancelled. And I think we set the dates for a wrong time that people were quite busy, so we had to make the decision basically. So I was quite sad recently, sort out many things. But now I'm quite happy to announce that so we have now opportunity to do a Christmas dinner. So I just remind you again. So it's £15 per person, but today is £10. So yeah, but also Uncle Anthony McQuiggan, so he's really amazing chef. So we're gonna have a great time with our performances and so on. So please enjoy the Christmas dinner, and really we can kind of think about how this year went through. Like for me, it was really amazing year in England, and second year of my life in England, and also young artist ministry and so on. So many things happened. So I'll be happy to share with you guys. So yeah, please come. Thank you very much.